I recently made a video talking about how if you want to ensure that you can do reality checks in dreams and take them seriously, you have to be aware of the fact that at any point you could be dreaming and not realise it. But I've realised since making this video that this might not be as easy for everyone as it is for some of us. For me, I know from personal experience just how many times I've had in the past where I've been in a dream and I've gone, I don't need to do a reality check, I'm awake right now, and I've been certain about it, and obviously I was certainly wrong. So having had lots of experiences like that, I know that at any moment I could be dreaming and not to trust my innate belief that I'm awake. But if you haven't yet had lots of experiences where you've thought about doing reality checks in a dream and then just decided not to do them, then you might not find it so easy to have this belief in waking life. You might feel quite confident in your ability to know when you're awake versus when you're dreaming. And as you sit here and watch this video now, I'm sure you are 100% convinced that you are in fact awake, even if you haven't done any reality checks or any tests to find out if that's actually the case. Whereas really, you should always have the attitude that you could be in a dream until you have checked. So if that sounds like you, if you were one of the people who, when I said that, had to nod your head and agree that you are definitely awake right now and you don't need to check, you just know that you're awake, then I'm going to suggest doing this little exercise each day. What I want you to do is periodically throughout the day, instead of asking yourself, am I dreaming right now? I want you to find one piece of evidence that could suggest that you're dreaming right now. I'm not saying I want you to find that you are dreaming right now, because obviously most of the time when you do this, you're going to be wide awake. But I want you to find something, anything off about your day that could be a clue that maybe something's wrong and maybe you're in a dream. Maybe you had one of those uncanny Bader-Meinhof phenomenon experiences where you just discovered a new word and suddenly you're seeing it everywhere. Or maybe you were thinking about something and you walked past your roommate and your roommate was chatting on the phone about the exact thing that you were thinking about just 5 seconds ago. Anytime something is off or unusual like this, it could just be a random coincidence, but it could also be something that happens when you're in a dream, because those kinds of things happen all of the time in dreams. Now, it doesn't actually have to be something unusual or off either. It can also just be something that you've linked to your dreams. So, for example, maybe you dream that you're at your workplace all of the time and you're at work currently. Obviously, you being at work doesn't say that, hey, you are definitely dreaming, because you obviously go to work in waking life as well. But the fact that you're at work means there is a sign there that it might be worth checking, because obviously you've been having lots of those dreams at work lately. So what is the purpose of this exercise? Why are you trying to find evidence that you could be dreaming, even if you're not? Well, the idea behind this is just to convince yourself of the possibility that you could be in a dream. Because once you've convinced yourself of that possibility, once you've realised, hey, I'm not 100% sure, maybe I'm still 98% sure, but I'm not 100% sure that I'm awake, then you're going to slow down and you're going to take your reality check seriously, because you know that you need to actually find out for real. You need to know, hey, am I actually awake now or am I in a dream? And it's that act of slowing down, doing those reality checks in the first place and doing them slow and seriously that's going to mean that 1, you actually end up doing them in your dreams, and 2, when you do, you don't rush through them, you do them correctly and you find out that you're dreaming. So instead of just having alarms throughout the day go off and remind you to do reality checks, each time your alarm goes off or each time you pause to do this, actually ask yourself, what is one thing, or maybe even more than one thing, that you can find that is an indicator that it's a possibility that you could be dreaming right now? And I feel like I probably don't need to make this disclaimer, but then again, people do crazy things. So obviously, if you get this indicator that you could be dreaming right now, you obviously do still need to do the reality checks afterwards and find out for sure one way or another before just, assuming that you're in a dream and running into the wall or something and discovering that you're in fact awake. So just to make this a little bit easier, I'm actually going to go through this exercise right now, and I'm going to pretend that I'm doing this for real and ask myself some reasons I could be dreaming right now and then do a series of reality checks. That way you can sort of play along and get an idea of how this is done. Before I do that though, if you're interested in getting a comprehensive guide to lucid dreaming and all of the most important information that you need to know, as well as supporting the channel at the same time, then you can check out the Lucid Dream book. There'll be a link in the top right hand corner or down in the description below, and you can use the code LUCID at checkout to get 15% off. Okay, so let's give that idea a go right now. So I'm sitting here in front of my desk recording this audio. What are some possible reasons that I could be in a dream right now? Well, the number one reason that immediately comes to mind is just the fact that I'm talking about dreams. It's actually quite common for me to discuss dreams and lucid dreaming in my dreams, both in my lucid ones and in the ones where I don't get lucid. So So that's already a sign that I shouldn't be 100% sure that I'm awake. Another sign can be any sort of uncertainty in your memory about the day. So as an example, I didn't really check the time thoroughly when I was starting recording this, but I thought it was earlier than it would make sense to be for the time that it is now with how far into recording this I am. Basically, I've not recorded that much. I've recorded a 5-minute audio, but I feel like I've been here for a good 25-30 minutes. So there's a good chance that I'm remembering the time wrong from earlier, and remembering things wrong or not having a clear sequence of events in your memory could just be bad memory, but it can also be a sign that sometimes you're in a dream. You'll notice these are really thin and not things that scream, hey, I'm dreaming right now. But the point is just for there to be a little bit of doubt in the back of my mind that I'm awake. I can't know 100% that I'm awake if there are any signs of any kind that I could potentially be dreaming until I do some reality checks. And I also have to emphasize the some there. Don't just get in the habit of doing a single reality check, because sometimes that can fail you in a dream. It can act the same way it would when you're awake, and that one reality check does nothing to help you find out that you're dreaming. It's always good to do several, and it's also good to repeat them a couple of times sometimes. So I'm going to do a really quick set of reality checks. Hopefully I don't find out that I'm dreaming and I just recorded this video for nothing. But I will be back in just one sec once I've done that. You can do the same right now and do a series of reality checks, and then I will get back to you and tell you what I just did. Okay, so thanks to the power of editing, you didn't need to wait through the couple of minute process of me doing that. But basically what I did was I examined my hands, I looked away, I looked back at them, I counted my fingers, I looked away, brought them back, counted my fingers again. I held my nose closed and attempted to breathe through it a couple of times. I also attempted to poke a finger through my palm a couple of times. And then finally, after all of that was done, I retraced my steps throughout the entire day since the moment I woke up, just to confirm that I had an uninterrupted series of events throughout the day and no gaps in my memory. Having done all of that, I now am 100% certain I'm awake, but I was able to take the process seriously and seriously consider the fact that I might not be, because of the fact that I pointed out some potential signs that I couldn't be 100% sure that I was awake. So if you struggle to make reality checks work for you, give this a try before you give up on them completely. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications to stay up to date with my new videos when they come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care.